My name is Reverend J.L. Franklin, President of the Southwest Louisiana Community Coalition for Action, and really want to talk about the issues that affect our community, that affect our vicinity, and some of the issues affecting our state, but certainly here in Southwest Louisiana. There are a number of issues that we want to apprise you on, and we're grateful for what the Southwest Louisiana Community Coalition for Action does. You know, there have been prevalent issues pretty hyped up about the issue contending with the local police officer who undoubtedly and without doubt killed Mr. Joseph Landry in January, the early part of January 11th, 2019. And of course, we did hear last week the summation of the DA's report, summoned or not to file any charges against this officer. We saw the press conference that Mr. John DeRozier had and the information that was released to the public. But of course, we have great dispute with that, with those findings. And one of the things, you know, we talk about mental illness, and Mr. DeRozier mentioned about how the community failed him, the family failed him, the justice system failed him. But Mr. DeRozier failed to say that the Lake Charles Police Department failed him. When you see a guy who is not running toward the police, but he's running away from the police, and at the end result is that the officer unloads his gun and shoots Mr. Landry in the back and other parts of his body, we have great dispute with that. This really was vigilante justice. It was the vigilante work, and we deeply have a problem here in Southwest Louisiana. Sean Caldwell, the police chief, mentioned, of course, that police officers are trained to deal with mental illnesses of such, and sometimes they fail. But this is exactly one of those cases. And what was applied in this case, when you're dealing with no backup, this guy, you're face to face with him, nearly at 25 feet apart, no taser. What was the compromisation in terms of trying to resolve this issue? But you chase him, another 200 yards, nearly 300 yards, and the next thing we know, of course, he's murdered. He's shot down. The officer unloads his gun. We realize we have cases of mental illnesses, not just in our state, it's a national problem. But to do this says a great deal about why the Lake Charles Police Department needs, and the city of Lake Charles, the mayor, Nick Hunter, who's the leader of the city, and the council need to ensure that the Lake Charles Police Department revises its policy on police shootings. We are totally against this issue. Here was not. This was a great offense in the dignity of our community, and we're passionate. We understand. I have a brother who's in law enforcement, so I applaud law enforcement officers, and I'm for issues when they're justified. But this was not one of those issues, and we want to make sure that we don't develop a pattern, which of course we have, because Lake Charles, in the last several years, we've had several who were killed by the police, and all resulting in having mental illnesses and issues. And so we don't want this process. And let me be very kind to you, and kind to the media, kind to the DA, kind certainly to our mayor, and kind to the police department by saying we simply want to foster a relationship. We want to keep that apprised. We want to foster a solid relationship with the DA. We want to foster a relationship with our police department to make sure. And that's one of the reasons why we have been contesting and contending to say that Lake Charles definitely needs an independent citizen review board. We're talking about a board abstract of law enforcement, not a board, where there are law enforcement individuals who sit on this board. It's controlled, no doubt, by the mayor and by the city of Lake Charles. We're talking about an independent board that this issue should be reviewed by. And that's what our appeal is. And so we're coming to you because we're going to be coming to you from, every week. We're going to talk about those issues that affect our community. And because we believe that Lake Charles can be better. And so stay tuned. for the next time that we will come to you and provide information to you about issues that affect our community right here in Southwest Louisiana. This is Reverend J.L. Franklin, President of the Southwest Louisiana Community Coalition for Action. We're here representing all, justice for all. That's what we believe in.